It is very different for a CW show, yeah.
But even for a show that's 90% young people, 95%
Yeah.
young people.
Yeah.
What did you think when you first saw the script or first heard what it was going to be about?
I thought it was excellent. I thought that the way that Jason wrote the very first episode, I mean, it read like a feature film. It was just like from beginning to end, I was turning pages, and that's really important. And I wanted to know what happened next. So that's kind of what drew me to it. What's kind of happened throughout the series, I mean, I thought that was different, but then I thought we shot the pilot in a very CW way. The rest of the series, I think, just goes down this dark rabbit hole, and that is just so exciting for us, and I think that is what sets it apart, you know, is the steady cam and the darkness of it, like the actual darkness, not only like the horrible murders and tortures and you know, and the rest of it. Yeah, I think it's so cool that we're trying to set a new sort of bar.
Well, in the last, I'm sorry, I won't talk anymore. The very last, I mean, that last scene where you know, get off of that.
Yeah.
All those burning dead bodies. That I was like.
Yeah. Yeah, it was horrible.
But I thought it was very. I thought your expression, your reaction, everything was just good. The way it was shot. It was perfect.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
It was very shocking.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, totally. And I think there was supposed to be a real, you know, a real tie between that very first moment in the pilot where the doors open, and then in the last episode, what they've created only after being on Earth for a month, you know, from it going, you know, from this beautiful green, lush, prehistoric, untouched forest to, you know, decimated by bombs. It's quite interesting, you know, in that way. Yeah. I mean, you could say that it's relevant because, you know, we feel like in our society today we're one step away from an apocalypse ourselves. Someone, you know, shooting a nuclear missile and us all being blown to hell, and I think people find it fascinating and almost hopeful the way in which people, like watching how maybe people would survive in those situations. But you could also just say that it's a trend, just like the zombies and just like the vampires and the werewolves and the this and the that. You know, I think that it's just one of those things that's hot right now as well. Depends on how you look at it.
To what extent do you feel it's changed? In the sense that part of this season was a real opportunity to reset from people.
Yeah.
To kind of just get away with it completely redo it, but you don't even
Yeah, I think she's changed immensely, and I'm really looking forward to playing how much darker she can get. I can't wait for people to see the first episode of season 2. It's like kick-ass. We're about to start shooting episode 3. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh yeah, sure, yeah, nice try. Well, we pick up in the White Room, exactly where we left off, and let's just say you'll be learning a lot more about where she is and what kind of danger she might be in.
Relationship with her mother, because for some people it's really angry at her mother.
She does, yeah, which is awesome, which is lucky because like me and Paige didn't really talk about that stuff. It just kind of happened. But we watched the first episode together and we were like, we have the same sort of like, you know, like ways of like the voice and the mannerisms and everything, and we didn't really plan to be so mother and daughter, but I think it kind of works. I mean, obviously in the story they know how to get themselves into trouble. They have that in common, but yeah, I think when, or if, I mean, you know, Abby and Clarke like see each other, it would be interesting to see how they've changed, how they've evolved, see the differences in each other, because so much has happened to them individually, and also to see if Clarke will forgive her, and you know, if Abby will recognise her. I mean, she's covered in dirt and mud and yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, Larry, what emotion, it's a very emotional show, even with all of the action and sci-fi aspects of it, what emotion would you like to see your characters
It's a good question. You know, happiness, maybe. No, I'd like to see her just. I'd like to see her confront her issues with her family and what's happened to her in the past, as opposed to all the action that's happening around her right now. I think that would be really interesting to see.